The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys! Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Nick Eatman, Brian Broaddus, Ambar Garcia, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, December 27th, 2022, Season 18, Episode number 97. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, and we're presented by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Today we get you ready for Cowboys versus Titans. We travel tomorrow to Tennessee, so we won't have a show tomorrow. There will be a few shows, though, if you guys listen to some of the other shows. If you don't, it's a good opportunity to check them out. I think Players Lounge and Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and Hang with the Boys. We'll all three be going tomorrow because they won't be traveling to the game. But we'll be on a flight heading out to Tennessee to check out Cowboys versus Titans. So today we get you ready. Let's start first with an injury update. Looking at the injury report, nothing really surprising except for one thing. Tony Pollard pops up there with a thigh injury. Did not practice yesterday. What do we know?
Keep an eye on that one. That one's it. I know the general manager came on 105.3 The Fan this morning and kind of gave him a clean bill of health. But the more you really dig into that, keep an eye on that one. That's a short week, getting ready to go. It's an injury that they need to monitor. So don't be so sure about that one as we speak right now.
I had asked the PR staff yesterday in the morning if Tony Pollard has been on the injury report all year. And this is before that even happened. I was just like, here's a running back that's undersized, that gets the ball a lot, and that was the big question mark about him. And he's gone through a whole season. He's getting close to 1,000 yards, and he made the Pro Bowl and all that. And I don't know if he's even been on the injury report, especially at the end of the week, to have a status. And then here he is. I mean, I jinxed him
just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Nick.
I hope he gets his 1,000 yards. I don't know if he will. If he doesn't play,
how far is he away?
Like 31 yards.
Oh wow!
I think it's less than that now. I think he's in the 20s,
he needed 31.
Yeah, he needed 31, and he got 18. So and then you're in a situation where the worst game he played this year was against the Commanders.
Yeah,
they had like 8 yards, like 8 carries for 9 yards in that game.
If the Eagles,
he's almost there. I got my graphic ready, so you better.
Well, your graphic ready, so he's got to get there
against Washington.
You better adjust some numbers there.
He doesn't play this
987.
It was a career year for Tony Pollard.
I mean, if the Eagles win this week against the Saints, and then they lock it, the division, and so you go into Washington and you don't need anything. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that don't play.
Let me ask you this. How realistic do you guys think it is that Dallas still gets, NFC East title? How realistic is that?
The chances improved after your game, and the only reason it improved because they have to figure out and know what they're going to do for Lane Johnson being out. Mm-hmm. That is a problem for them. And so now you have a quarterback who's dealing with a joint problem in a shoulder.
And that's his throwing arm,
and
correct?
It's his throwing arm. And so there's like, I've learned this about this. The AC joint you can inject. There's another joint, the SC joint, that I've learned that you can't. It's a little bit more of a risky thing. So they're kind of dealing with, okay, which one is it? But it's definitely a joint problem. I think if it was an AC joint, they would have – we'll see them injected and try and play. But if it's the other one, then that's a little bit of a different ball game there. But him being out, they lost their nickel corner, who's a really, really good
Maddox
player. They're trying to get back players, so they have to be concerned because they're playing teams that are trying to get in. The Saints are trying to stay alive. They really are. I mean, they have to play. They have to, and in the Giants at the end of the year. I mean, the Giants are trying to stay in the tournament themselves. So, they're in a kind of a weird situation where they can't really say, oh, we're going to rest guys in this. They got to go try and win one game, and once they win that one game, then they're home free. But until they win that one game, I think it's the Cowboys. You just keep playing. you keep playing and hope that maybe somehow, some way, this thing at the end of the year because of injury flipped your way.
Yeah, I just think it's just kind of ironic. I'm sure the Cowboys would like to be locked in. I mean, they want to win the division, but if you're not going to win it, I mean, you got to keep playing these games. I mean, they would like to go into Washington and not have to play for anything. But if the Saints beat the Eagles and you've taken care of business against the Titans, then you have to. And they're going to play them at the same time. You know that's going to be exactly noon or probably a 3:00 game on that week.
What a dream that is. If that happens, you have no idea how many Eagles fans I got on my Twitter right now. I can't freaking
Yeah, I saw you
stand
engaging
it.
them on Monday morning or Sunday morning, whichever.
No, I haven't entertained a lot of them or anything. But for lack of a better word, but the amount of stupidity that I have to read, like things that are illogical, that they make no sense. I'm like, they tend to forget what that game looked like when we played them at their home back with Cooper Rush. It's ridiculous. It makes me so mad. So for their script to start switching like that, oh, what a slap in the face that would be.
Yeah.
It would be great.
I mean, Rocky was tough, but he wasn't smart. I'm just saying. I mean, he was. That's what he was. I mean, he was tough.
You're probably looking at right now maybe a 20-25% chance.
Yeah.
I would say it went from like probably 5 to 25. And once you win the game, and then they start losing guys.
Four things got to happen. We said last week 6 things got to happen, and 2 of them happened in the same game.
And here's the interesting thing about it is if they should happen to lose these final 2 and Dallas wins these final 2. You at first the way you were thinking about it was, it'd be nice to get up to that 1 seed, but actually what is more likely is you end up in the 2 seed, which means you don't get the bye because right now Minnesota would have a better record if they went out as well. So you would probably get the 2 seed, which means you play next week, you get a home game, but then in week 2 you play the 3rd seed most likely, and that would be San Francisco coming back to Dallas. Yeah. So I know that look on your face kind of explains all
like
that.
the 5 seed.
That's what I'm saying. The 5 seed is not a bad place to be. You go play Tampa or Carolina or whoever, and then maybe play Philly in the second round.
Don't trust
But
Minnesota
whatever.
to win 2 games.
Yeah.
Good
Minnesota's going to go to Green Bay
Good
and
point.
lose.
Good point.
The one
Green
thing,
Bay might end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, the thing about it, I've exhausted myself understanding being in the 5 hole.
Yeah.
I kind of realized that's where I'm probably going to be.
Yeah.
I've tried to figure out who could beat the teams ahead, the teams who can because every weekend, wild card weekend, there's 1 game or 2 games where you go. I never saw that. I never saw the 7 seed going and knocking somebody off.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams, but there's a lot of teams that are just, like I said before, just spewing oil, trying to get in the tournament right now. And so, do you really trust Minnesota? No, I don't. No. Heck no.
But I would love to. Honestly, go ahead.
I was going to say this about Minnesota. I found this stat. They are 8-1 at home, just like the Cowboys. They have outscored their opponents at home by 16 points.
Yeah.
They're 8-1.
Yeah.
The 37-point loss at home, that didn't really help. But then other than that, they won and the close games and all that. Cowboys are 8-1. They've outscored their opponents by 97 points.
Jeez.
So it's just, that's about what it should be when you win 8 out of 9 games. But it's just funny how Minnesota, that one loss was like the worst loss they've ever had.
2 weeks ago, they were down 30 points to the Colts in a game, and it took a miracle finish. So if you trust them, good luck with that. I mean, there's somebody that's going to, and I'm trying to think, okay, who's the team that could go from the bottom of the 6-7 area that can go beat Philadelphia? Green Bay. That's what I'm saying. Green Bay was down 13-0 to him. I watched the game on film, and then Aaron Rodgers is like 14-13. Just stormed back in the game.
And then got hurt.
Yeah.
And their defense over the last,
backup.
I know you were talking about their defense, but over the last, I saw this graphic yesterday, over the last 3 games, their defense has been holding teams, I think the 17 is the average.
Packers.
Packers. Yeah. So you start talking about those teams that nobody would want to see in the playoffs, even no matter how they've played all season. Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers is one of those teams.
The playoffs have started already for the
Yeah.
Packers.
Oh, yeah, it's been that way, yeah.
They're at home against the Lions and the Vikings.
Yeah.
So then those 2
They
teams
have to win. They have to win those 2 games, right? And then all the Commanders have to do is lose 1. Am I right about that?
I think that's right.
I don't know.
Because they have that tie. Because they have that tie. I think
the Commanders
right now
beat 'em.
they're half a game ahead of all those other teams.
The Commanders beat them during
Washington
the season.
plays Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland has given them.
I don't know what Cleveland is. I mean,
they're out of the playoffs. I know
they?
that. But
sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they play. I don't know what they are.
That is so weird. That is so weird. Well, I guess it's weird for the Cowboys too to have an AFC game this late in the year.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a strange because of the extra game. They throw that AFC game in there.
Three of the NFC teams, three of the NFC East teams, all play in the AFC.
Yeah,
except for Philly. But the Giants also play the Colts.
Who's Philly playing this week? Oh, New Orleans.
The Saints.
New Orleans, yeah.
See, and now that you catch the Colts, they're going to keep on with that quarterback who was awful last night.
Yeah,
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
It's man, you just got to try and figure it all out. But to answer your question, I feel better about it than when I felt before the kickoff of the game the other day. Because things are starting to happen to the Eagles. Let's be real honest about this too. Their defense at full strength was awful the other day. If you talk about it, awful in a way of giving up yards, giving up points.
More than they've been this year.
More than they've been. I mean, you can't say, well, this was just a bad. No, you didn't cover very well. Pass rush was there, but the quarterback just ate you up.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm encouraged by what I saw the other day. Because I was kind of going into the game thinking, man, Philadelphia doesn't have any weakness. They really don't. They've got some weaknesses over there, and they're starting to be injuries are starting to hurt them a little bit.
Which they've been really healthy most of the year.
Exactly.
Mike McCarthy can stick it to the Packers without even playing them. If you think about it here, these last few weeks.
If he beats, lose the Commanders.
Well, the Commanders could be sitting here, and Green Bay's like, we've got to win this game. So we can go and we got to win, and Washington has to lose, and then it's like,
sit everybody.
Cooper Rush is throwing the ball to Jalen Tolbert. You know,
that could very well happen. Yeah,
but I wouldn't worry about it at all when you're.
It could happen.
You're looking out for yourself. Care about it.
Because nobody feels sorry for you when you don't have any players. But the thing
don't
about
lose 5 in a row.
If Philly goes to New Orleans and wins this weekend, then you need to treat that game because, like you said, depending on what happens in the NFC South and what day you play, you got to steal rest when you can.
Yeah,
and that's one where you probably go into that and you say we'll play our starters for a quarter, and then get them out of there and let them relax a little bit.
Especially if the Commanders are trying to win, that's the last thing you need. That front seven teeing off on Dak or something like that. Yeah,
no doubt about it. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Tennessee offense versus the Dallas defense. We'll do that in just a moment. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
What do you call a group of grown men and women with their faces painted silver and blue who get together every week to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite in 10-gallon hats while yelling, "How about them Cowboys?" You call it Miller Time in Dallas. Here's to the Cowboys. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
When you build, you start with the foundation. And home ownership is a foundation of a stable future. The Bank of America Community Homeownership Commitment has helped over 34,000 people lay the groundwork so far, with up to $10,000 towards your down payment or 3% of the purchase price, whichever is less. The satisfaction of owning your own place can become a reality. Visit bankofamerica.com/homeowner to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Back to the break.
Derek, do you know who the NFL Fan of the Year is?
Amber Garcia.
No, it's not. It's James Wright. It's not William.
Jimmy.
Yeah. James Wright edged out William Boykins for the 2022 Cowboys Fan of the Year. James brings the spice to every Dallas Cowboys game, and now he needs your help to bring him to the Super Bowl. Vote for James to be given the ultimate title of NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, by casting your vote at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
Welcome back. Second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. This segment brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, let's talk Tennessee offense versus Dallas defense. Let's start first with the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is out with an ankle injury. Let me ask you this question, Brian.
Yeah.
What threat, if any, does Malik Willis pose?
Running the football. That's the thing about it, is the ability to scramble. He is not very accurate right now. It's a problem. The receivers have been having trouble with getting some separation, and then you have a quarterback that can't really accurately throw the football yet. And I was talking to my buddies down in Jacksonville about this because they play the next week, and I was saying, listen, what do you see in Tennessee? They're thinking, they're worried about them the next week having to play against Josh Dobbs, who they got off the practice squad, who was a practice squad player with Detroit. And they're worried that because Josh Dobbs can throw the ball better than what Malik Willis, and he gives you a little of the RPO stuff too, the ball handling things. They know playing Willis is going to be a not being accurate, but all of a sudden you rush, and he's super elusive. If you watched him play at Liberty, he's a transfer. He originally went to school at Auburn and transferred to Liberty and brought their program to a really high level there at Liberty because of his ability to run and throw. I mean, there was times where I was watching him play against Ole Miss. He was accurate. The thing about him right now is he's hurrying everything. He doesn't really see everything really well. I think you can confuse him. He's a rookie guy, third-round pick, probably should have gone higher. But the thing that you have to worry about is him just taking the ball and dropping back, and all of a sudden he sees lane, and then he takes off running. That's the biggest threat that you'll deal with right now. The receivers, Traylon Burks has been banged up for him. I loved him coming out of Arkansas. I thought he was a super player. When he catching the football, run after catch. He did everything at Arkansas. Snap him the ball, he runs. You toss him the ball, he runs. He's a big body guy. They went and got Robert Woods, last year, and he's kind of shown up a little bit. Racy McMath is another guy that they kind of have.
Great name.
Yeah, so it's kind of a collection of guys right now. They trade away Brown, and that made that group look remarkably different there. They've struggled a little bit on the offensive line right now because they're banged up. Nicholas Petit-Frere, who they drafted out of Ohio State, is a big, long tackle who not the quickest of feet, but he's banged up a little bit. We'll see what happens game time with him. On the other side, if you want somebody to attack, the left tackle, Dennis Daly, is the guy. He's the guy that got a trade from Carolina. He's number 71. He's the one that laid off the ball, struggles with quickness, doesn't redirect all that well. He's a left tackle, but they've struggled with him in the lineup really blocking. All right, we haven't talked about Derrick Henry. My buddies in Jacksonville think they're going to play this thing like a preseason game. They think that
because this game does not matter for them.
It does not matter. Clear. I mean, my guys down there are like, listen, you're probably going to get just a skeleton type of lineup. Henry not playing. They'll pick some guys out that they don't want to play. The problem is, though, if Henry does play, that's everybody knows that's the. I mean, I'm watching the Texans last week, and Petrie, that really good safety at number 5 from Baylor, who's just knocking everybody out. And I mean, you should see him trying to hit this guy running the ball. They throw him the ball occasionally. It's 2nd and 10. They hand him the ball. He gets 12 yards. He's a hard guy, Derrick Henry, hard guy to tackle. Mm-hmm. He's just so big, and you could see that these defenders don't want to tackle him. They just don't.
Would you?
Hell no. I mean, he comes running through there, and it's like, and the safeties, like I say, Petrie's like, all right, he's like launches himself into him, and he's just bouncing off. It's like tennis balls on a tank, just bouncing off the guy. And, that's the problem. But maybe Dallas catches a break. Maybe Dallas catches a break that they do rest him in this game because it doesn't matter to the Tennessee's playoff hopes. The following week does. So that's where I'm saying left tackle's it's a kind of a mixed group of wide receivers. I don't know the quarterback can get them the ball. Their offensive line struggles. Dennis Daly, the left tackle, is the one you go after. And if Derrick Henry plays, buckle up, Buttercup. Yeah.
So the Jacksonville, your buddies at Jacksonville, they're talking to the Titans people, you think, or they
know they have a feeling going into this game. They're really worried about. They think if they had to play Malik Willis in this game, they would win. They feel like we've got the better situation at quarterback. Yeah. The thing they worry about with Willis is that and you can watch it on tape, he does run. But when he drops back to pass, it's like throwing a ball into the ocean. He just doesn't know where it's going to go or where it's going to land or anything like that. Wow. Right now, that's the way he's playing. Yeah. But like I say, they might try and get Joshua Dobbs some work. The backup quarterback might try and get him some work to get him ready for the other games. And he throws the ball better than what Willis throws.
Yeah, just to give you some perspective on what Willis has done so far this year.
50% passer.
He has started 3 games. Yeah. He is attempting 16 passes per game on average. His 51% completion rate ain't that good. He has averaged 78 yards passing in each of those 3 games. Yeah. Has not gone over 99. Still hasn't gone over 100 yards in any of those 3 games he started. In a game under 100 yards passing. He's been sacked 10 times, and he has 3 interceptions. So, yeah, this level of passing, it shouldn't be a problem for the Cowboys. Let's just put it like that. Really, it is all about can you stack the box and stop their run, especially if Derrick Henry is there. And that would be a question I have for you, Brian. Obviously, the Cowboys aren't the first team to face them in this kind of situation. They keep putting up a ton of yards on the ground. Our team, I would assume teams are stacking the box. How are they so successful being able to run, even when teams know all you got to do is stop the run?
Their big thing is, though, they want to get the ball. They try and get the lineman moving and then make you move, and then they hand the ball to Henry. And once they get you moving, they don't feel like the teams that have been able to play. The Texans had a couple of plays where they were able to get penetration up the field, and it stopped him before he got going. Like they immediately, they shot gaps, and all of a sudden they're handing the ball, and it's a face-to-face collision.
Yeah.
They want to get you moving, and then once they get you moving, they just feel like that if you're moving, you can't firm up and get tackled.
Arm tackles won't work with this guy anyway.
No, you're right. Yeah. Teams, I'm serious. It's 2nd and 10, and it's like it's got they got the whole team in the box, and they hand the ball to the guy, and he just blasts through guys. And it's a 6-7 yard gain, or he's falling at the yellow, the sticks. I mean, it's crazy to watch this guy play and he gets stronger. It's like long runs. It's a 60-yard run, 50-yard run with this guy. It's incredible. I hope he doesn't play. I really don't. Well, I'm not going to lie. I hope he doesn't. I hope he sits out.
If they do rest some of those guys, and then with the game not being that important to them because of their situation, what are some of the things that you are looking for the Cowboys to do? Is this a game where maybe they can kind of do something with the pass rush and kind of give some life there? And
I think with Willis, I think with Willis, to me, this is now the game plan where I think teams that have the running quarterback, I think that you look at what the Texans did, the RPO stuff, the things that, okay, I'm going to read it, pull it, run, and so this comes down to, this guy can't throw the ball well enough to kill you. The problem is if you rush and you don't get there and he takes off running, now you got big issues. This game is going to be really about playing with discipline because I don't think he could beat you throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. I think he could beat you taking it, dropping back, and seeing man coverage, and then you're running a twist game up front and you don't get somebody home, and now he just takes off running. That's the thing that you talk about the pass rush. This is not like a traditional drop back quarterback throw the ball. So your pass rush, if you could kind of confuse him and make him hold the ball, and teams have been able to do that a little bit. But and these tackles, I think you could do something with these guys. Like I say, Daly, we'll see with Petit Free how his health is. But I mean, to me, it's going to be about disciplined, stay in lanes, and don't let this guy run the football if you can. Make him throw the football. You make him throw the football, they're going to lose this football game.
All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Tennessee defense versus the Dallas offense. Some interesting things there as well. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
The season is finally here. For months, we've been gearing up to win. Now it's time for the team that performs on any field, United Ag and Turf. With John Deere zero turns for mowing, compact tractors for loading, mini excavators for digging, Gator utility vehicles for hauling, implements for grading, hay tools for baling. United Ag and Turf, for winning. The official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com for more.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
This week! Did you get to work on time?
Yeah, but I just realized it's Sunday.
Little Sweet says head on home. Dr. Pepper's on its way. So sweet, unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you've probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you invest your nest egg in an NFT?
Yeah, and I don't even know what that is. It's a non-fungible token.
Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper.
When you build, you start with the foundation. And home ownership is a foundation of a stable future. The Bank of America Community Home Ownership Commitment has helped over 34,000 people lay the groundwork so far, with up to $10,000 towards your down payment or 3% of the purchase price, whichever is less. The satisfaction of owning your own place can become a reality. Visit bankofamerica.com/homeowner to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Back to the break.
All right, I love this one. Dak Prescott is this year's Cowboys nominee for 2022 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award presented by Nationwide. It can help Dak earn a $25,000 donation to his Faith Fight Finish Foundation by voting on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and find it. By January 8th, vote Dak. Just find it. You can find anything.
No, wait. I want to hear you do the uncomfortable read of that thing because I know it's like really, really long. Go for it.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it's the /.
Yeah, it's by voting on Twitter. Tweet or hashtag WPMOY challenge followed by Dak Prescott through January 8th. Vote Dak. But when I say that, do you think there's somebody with like the pen cap in his mouth and another pen like, oh, what is it again? Dang it.
Yes, repeat it for them so they can get it. There are people out there that want to write this down.
Just go vote for Dak. I mean, if he's gonna
rewind feature on this site.
I think he's gonna. I think
so.
You think he's gonna win it this year? You think
I
Dak
don't know, man. That's a hard one. That's a hard one because, like I told you yesterday, every team's got a Dak.
Every team's got a JJ Watt that goes and raises $40 million.
Right. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard to get this one. This is probably
this is the hardest one to get. I think
this is a hard one.
It really is,
and it's got a lot of prestige to it too. Like getting a Man of the Year award, that's pretty big.
Who has a tougher chance, the Dak or James Wright, the NFL Fan of the Year? I mean, they're both going up against 32 or 31 others.
I'm going to say James Wright.
He's got a better chance?
I think James Wright's got a chance.
Let's go, James.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Wright.
We had nothing in this.
Bring it, Jimmy.
Final segment. I'm going to have to read that again.
A final segment brought to you by Miller, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about the Tennessee defense versus the Cowboys offense. They are right now, Tennessee's defense, 31st in passing yards allowed. However, they're second in rush yards allowed.
They're not going to let you run the ball.
It's one of those situations where you can't run.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you want to throw the ball, feel free. My question is, where are they most vulnerable in the passing game? I mean, in their pass defense.
Yeah, the problem is though their secondary has been giving up plays.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it is when I watched the Chargers game and the way they were throwing the ball and stuff, they've been a little bit banged up in the secondary too. Christian Fulton has their second-round pick has been banged up at corner. Nickelback, Amani Hooker, they have a hooker on their team too. He's been – well, they do. We have a hooker. They have a hooker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, guys are the ones laughing.
No, I'm just like, where are we going with this? Go ahead.
They have a hooker, Amani.
Okay,
they have Amani.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm just telling you it's factual. It's not making this stuff up.
Okay,
try and give you knowledge at this point in time. It depends on how you take it. This Roger McCreary, though, who they've got is a cornerback. He's actually really, really, really good. He's number 21. You might have seen him if you're watching the highlights. They had the play where they tried. The Chargers tried to, and it's really cool on film. Chargers tried to, like right before the half, tried to throw the ball and maybe get a score right before the half, and McCreary is out of bounds and he volleyballs it back to his teammate for an interception in the end zone there.
Noah Brown.
Yeah, Joshua Kalu is the one.
Brown.
Yeah. This was an intentional one,
right?
Not a volleyball like.
And it was to his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Byard is their safety. He's really, really good. Number 31. You have to keep
How
it.
old is he? He seems like he's been in the league
108.
forever.
No,
Not
2016.
really. No? Not really. I mean,
2016.
I don't know why. For some reason, I just feel like he's been in the league for a
He's
long
made the
time.
Pro Bowl like 4 times.
Maybe
I'm
that's it.
surprised you didn't make it this year.
Yeah, they are really they're banged up in a little bit. Their defensive line with DeMarcus Walker, Tart, Jeffrey Simmons is one of my favorite players, and then they've got back Autry, number 96, and he had a knee injury, so they got him back. This front four, I think it's good. The problem is they're so banged up at linebacker. Zach Cunningham, who they got from the Texans. Dylan Cole has been banged up. Bud Dupree, who I think is their best pass rusher, is dealing with some stuff right now too. So they've had to go with some backup guys. Monty Rice, number 56 at linebacker. He's around the ball. They have Terrell Basham on their team, by the way, too. That didn't even really notice him very much, but just to let you know that. But the front four is that's they're not going to let you run the ball because of the front four. And the secondary gives up plays. Again, you have to watch Kevin Byard because he's a guy that if you overthrow, underthrow, he's usually in position. He's a turnover guy. His whole career has been getting turnovers. And again, I think Roger McCreary, number 21, who they got from Auburn in the second round, he is the one that long, rangy guy. Don't throw at him. On the other side, whoever's playing on the other side for those guys, it might be Greg Maben will be the guy who they got off the street, number 32. He's been kind of getting a lot of their work since. So it's a good defense up front, but it's a little bit banged up right now.
Yeah, after coming off a game where Dallas gave up 6 sacks to Philadelphia, and looking at Jeffrey Simmons there in the middle, a defensive tackle,
It's a pain in the rear.
7.5 sacks. That's
Yeah.
a lot for a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Where does he typically line up, and who is he matching up with against Dallas?
After what happened to the McGovern in that game last week, Jeffrey Simmons is going to play on the outside shoulder of McGovern, and it's going to give it heck. You got to also think about sliding the center over to kind of help him. I'd leave Zach Martin in if I'm Biotish, I'm blocking, I'm keeping my left eye over here, and all right, sorry, Zach, got to go, that kind of thing. Or even maybe start that way because Jeffrey Simmons is powerful. He's explosive. He came out of college in Mississippi State in 2019, and he had a bad knee, missed the whole rookie season, missed his whole rookie season, and then got healthy. And man, he is a pain in the rear to deal with because of he plays that 3 technique, under tackle, outside shoulder, and Biotish will have a handful of him today.
Is there anyone on their line that you might think they might rest? Or that
I would hope that Jeffrey. If you ask me to start, and that's a great question, by the way. Jeffrey Simmons doesn't need to be playing. Like, hey, Kevin Strong, come on down. Any one of those guys, I would absolutely.
He could play.
Yeah, play in there at the 3, but. It's kind of like if you were to take away one of their best offensive players, you would take away Derrick Henry. You take away one of their best defensive players, it would be Jeffrey Simmons, in my opinion. And so maybe they'll sit him in this game. Like I say, they got some guys too. Bud Dupree is their best pass rusher, and he's banged up right now. So they'll probably sit him this week and then try and work.
How long has Bud Dupree been there?
Bud Dupree, when did they get him?
I know
He was
the
from the
Steelers. Were
Steelers
drafted,
had
right?
he originally drafted by the Steelers.
I didn't realize he was there.
Yeah, he was with, and he came with Tennessee in 2021 is when they got him. Yeah,
You know, it might be a situation where they're going to play their guys, to start the game, and we'll see how it goes. But if the Cowboys can get on them and take the lead and maybe go up by 10 points or so, maybe more, that might be a situation where they say, all right, we're gonna
time to sit everybody.
We're gonna we'll start resting some guys, especially in their injury situation too, like guys that have been banged up, that have been hanging.
They have
on,
a lot of them.
Yeah.
They have a lot of them on defense.
They've been struggling.
I was looking at the weather here.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I was looking at it right now. So for Thursday, it's actually going to be their best. It's their best day. I mean, 58 is the high.
Oh, there you go.
And
Look
low is 42. So low 42, high 58. You're thinking what? 45, 47?
Game time, Tim?
Game time.
48.
Yeah,
48. But
you don't even need a coat.
But no, time out. Time out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
Or you
this.
can borrow Nick's.
I'm going to tell you this.
Catch me there frozen.
On the field before the game, it's going to be cold.
Oh no, one of the coldest games we ever
coming off
Christmas night, right?
What is it? I'm not.
We
good
played a
with
day
rivers.
game
Is
there
that
one
the
time.
Mississippi River.
Is it?
I don't know.
It might be the Tennessee
River, whatever.
Might be. I don't know.
It's a body of water, and it's cold. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's coming right in. The water's coming. I mean,
Let's not act like you're playing in Chicago.
No,
no, it's not Chicago. Let's be clear.
Well, no,
It's
like
Chicago.
the lake effect, kind of a thing.
Not Chicago.
It'll be colder than what it says, like down there.
Oh, no, it
It'll
will
cold.
be. Yeah,
it'll be coming off the bus.
It'll
be
feel
like,
colder.
Be like, okay, got your picture. Hadn't been here in 8 years. Okay, cool. Let's go. Press box. Best press box in the league, by the way.
Low seats.
Sandwiched it between the two worst.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's not the worst press box in the league.
Oh, just the experience. The whole experience is the worst.
I mean, the view's okay, but they do have the bars. The bars are the problem.
But it's a low
It's
low
funny
vantage point.
everyone says, and everyone, I haven't talked to a single person that was on that trip that said they like Jacksonville. Yeah. They're like, that place stinks. I hate it. I had no issues.
Come on, man, I lived there.
I literally had a good time, except for the press box. They had terrible food. And I was starving.
We're so spoiled here.
We are.
We are,
and I'm okay with that.
We had this discussion on the radio how we will complain about free food.
Brian,
Yes,
I
we
was
will.
getting nutrition from a Sprite or a soda drink. I don't even know. That was my.
Hey,
She was eating ice cream as a meal because that's the only thing that was edible.
What's wrong with
Not
that?
even the salad was good. Not even the salad was good. That tells you.
Did she
how
sit
bad
there
it
and
was.
do what she does all the time? Just moves food around on her plate.
I'm an eater. I eat a lot. I like eating, but that food.
I've seen you move your food.
Derek is a foodie, and he was not in a good mood about
I was
that.
not. I don't like it when I don't have good food. It drives me crazy.
Press box.
I love the
announcer was
fact that in the media is we get free food, free seat, free parking, and we will complain.
It's
and
Jerry's
then drop
fault.
a ball.
It's Jerry's fault because
Heartbeat.
we are used to having great
Got the
food
best.
at AT&T Stadium, and then you go to other places where it's subpar, and you're like,
gelato
"What is
bar.
wrong with this ownership
Brian, you
group?"
don't understand. This is not even.
What do you mean I don't
This was
understand? I live
compared
my
to prison food. Okay, I haven't been to prison.
Let me get Doug
man.
Peterson on the phone
don't
right
know.
now.
Please do.
Doug.
Brian, has Brian been to prison? We don't.
Inside joke, guys.
That is
It's not supposed to be. It's
I
supposed
know.
to be-
Most people probably remember that.
not prison, jail.
Yeah.
I think if
It
I
was
had to go
jail.
to prison, I wouldn't make it.
Big difference, jail and prison.
Off.
All right, let's get some predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen this week? Yeah, it's our last show.
I'm not even ready for that.
It shouldn't
Cowboys
take
win.
long.
Prediction goes like 7 different places for me, so
Okay.
I gotta make sure I have the same one for tomorrow and all that.
Got to carry it over for 4 shows, 4
Yeah.
platforms.
Go ahead. I'm still
27-13 Dallas.
Amber, what you got?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. 27-13.
27-13, all right.
27-13 Dallas, yeah.
37-16 Dallas.
Oh, let's go. Titans.
Really?
Tighten up.
Really?
Nick?
34-9 Dallas.
All right.
They get some sacks.
And I will go 34-13. I think the defense can get some sacks this week. They'll get back on the.
McCarthy will press conference will be, I told you.
I don't like the 9.
You
They'll
don't
have that.
No, 9's a good one. They got
9 is good. I was actually thinking about 9, but I gave them a little bit more. I said they'll get in the end zone once.
They'll kick some field goals.
Especially if Derrick Henry plays. They'll get in the end zone.
Yeah, if Derrick Henry plays, I'm just kind of counting on him not playing.
Because if he does play, does your score change?
I think so. I mean, I think well, maybe give the Titans another touchdown. Maybe it's 27-20.
What about field goals? Or is their kicker all right?
Oh no, they can kick. Yeah.
Del Greco. Who's their kicker?
Del Greco.
What is their kicker? Bullock. Yeah, Bullock.
Del Greco. I hadn't heard that name in a long time. Del Greco.
That's the only thing.
He's back with the Oilers.
Derek's
back
still
with the Oilers.
Derek's still bitter they moved.
Right.
He's so bitter.
I am.
Did you ever cheer for them?
The Oilers?
Do you know people in Houston that cheered for them?
Yes, I know one friend of mine from high school. One friend from high school that still is a huge Titans fan. He moved with them, and everybody else was like, I ain't rooting for them. Like, they left.
Yeah.
You know, and said some things like when they were on their way out of the door.
Yeah.
Don't let
That
the
Bud
doorknob
Adams.
hit you.
That Bud Adams.
It's true.
Watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mrs. Adams is running that team now. Daughter.
All right. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back on Friday. Friday, we will be back in studio. We'll let you guys know what went right and wrong for the Cowboys. And we'll start, hopefully, maybe start getting you guys ready for the final game of the season, Cowboys versus Commanders. And we'll see where the Cowboys fall at that point as far as what's going on in the NFC East. Till then, for Nick Eatman, Brian Broaddus, Amber Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?